Removing components and final check. The operator takes the reading head tool and puts it over the reading head on the seal, keeping the reading head tool's shaft as vertical as possible. The operator turns the reading head tool clockwise until the reading head tool falls into the reading head slot. The operator now presses down vertically on the internal spring inside the reading head till contact and turns clockwise for roughly half a turn, maintaining vertical pressure until it stops turning. The operator then releases the vertical pressure on the reading head tool. The reading head tool should now be engaged onto the reading head and can be lifted off the seal. To place the reading head back onto the lowering tray, the operator places the reading head tool over the reading head holder on the lowering tray. The reading head tool may have to be turned slightly until the bolt inside the reading head fits into the hole of the reading head holder. You will find a slight drop of about 5 millimeters once the reading head is placed correctly and securely. The operator now presses down vertically on an internal spring till contact and turns anti-clockwise for roughly half a turn, maintaining vertical pressure until it stops turning, then releases the vertical pressure on the reading head tool. The reading head tool should now be free from the reading head and can be lifted off the lowering tray and hung from the bridge. The operator takes the seal tool and puts it over the seal. Ensuring that the shaft of the seal tool remains vertical, the operator turns the seal tool in a clockwise direction until the seal tool falls down into the lateral groove and stops turning. Using the seal tool, the operator now turns the seal anti-clockwise approximately 8 turns to free the seal. Leaving the seal inside the seal tool, the operator hangs the seal tool on the bridge. Next, the operator takes the hook tool and unscrews the protective cap from the lowering tray with a couple of turns anti-clockwise until it's loose. The operator places the protective cap on the tie rod with the hook tool and turns it clockwise until secured onto the tie rod. The hook tool can now be hung from the bridge. The operator takes the donut tool and places it over the tie rod. The operator turns the donut tool anti-clockwise until it drops into the vertical groove on the donut and stops turning. This will secure the donut tool onto the donut and can now be lifted off. To place the donut onto the lowering tray, the operator holds the donut tool over the donut holder on the lowering tray and aligns with the notch on the lowering tray. To separate the donut tool from the donut, the operator turns it anti-clockwise until it stops. The operator lifts the donut tool, which should now be separated from the donut, and hangs the tool on the bridge. The operator takes the seal tool with the seal still inside and puts it over the lowering tray and tightens it with a couple of turns onto the lowering tray and hangs the seal tool onto the bridge. The operator untightens the tie rod using the tie rod tool by turning it 8 times anti-clockwise. The operator lifts the tie rod using the hook tool and places the tie rod onto the lowering tray and tightens with a couple of clockwise turns. Still using the hook tool, the operator takes the false tie rod from the lowering tray and places it in the empty threaded hole. The operator turns the hook tool clockwise to tighten the false tie rod and hangs the hook tool on the bridge. Using the hook on the crane, the operator now lifts the lowering tray from the pond. The inspector inspects the seal to verify the serial number and ensure that the integrity of the seal has been broken. The inspector puts the broken seal, the tie rod with protective cap, and the reading head into the secure cabinet. The inspector shuts down the system by performing the following: exits the reading software, safely removes the USB stick, shuts down the reading computer, disconnects the two cables from the mains as well as the USB cable and the reading head connector. Please note the correct way of removing the reading head connector is to hold the USB box with one hand whilst the other hand pulls the striped part with the opposite fingers. Never pull on the blue tube or the back part of the reading head connector. Place the protective cap over the reading head connector. The inspector then places the reader computer, USB box, and USB cables back into the secure cabinet.